Can go inside. May I come in, sir?
Come.
So can I take it?
Yes, have a seat.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
tell me something about yourself.
Sir, I am Harshit Verma. I come from Jamshedpur in Jharkhand. I am a software engineer by profession. I have done my schooling from DVMS English School and I have done computer science engineering from VIT Mesra. My hobbies are quizzing and I like working out, especially running.
Okay, Harshit, and tell me something about Jamshedpur. Jamshedpur is a very famous place, I think, for mining.
It's a famous place for the steel industry, which
Steel
is there.
industry.
Tata Steel is there. It's famous for that.
Okay, so it is harmful for environment or not?
Sir, there are emissions coming out of the steel industry which can be harmful, but in Jamshedpur we see that Tata Steel has taken some measures, like the greenery in Jamshedpur is it's like the sixth greenest city in the country. So various measures have been placed, like it provides free hospital provisions for its workforce. So yes, the steel industry emissions can be harmful, but various mitigating measures have been taken by the Tata
But
Steel.
hospitals and etc. kind of facilities are not
Yes,
not to work for the environment, na?
yes, sir. They have put in some measures to control the emissions as well, like various particulate matter, SO2 emissions. There have been some, like for SO2, there is desulfurization. For particulate matter, there are some kind of these systems they have been put in place so that the emissions are controlled to the permissible levels of that.
Okay, so what is the air quality index of the Jharkhand?
Sir, exact I am not able to recall.
Okay, and you are working in one company and you are earning huge, like 2,20,000.
Yes, sir.
And permanent job.
Yes, sir.
So why are you choosing a civil service?
Yes, sir. The current work which I have, it offers a scope for innovation and it pays well. But like I've been working for 5 years and I feel that after a point, like money stops giving you that kind of satisfaction. So I feel that in civil services I'll get that opportunity, like whatever little I can contribute, but it will have a greater impact compared to my current work. So that's why I want to join the civil services.
Because what is the salary of an IAS officer?
Sir, I believe it's 56,000
100 rupees.
That is basic.
That is basic.
Basic.
Yes, sir.
Right. So I think 220 is also the basic salary of that company.
Sir, it's in per month in hand salary.
Per month in hand salary.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So you are not satisfied with that job. So that's
I am satisfied, but like I feel that in civil services there will be greater scope to contribute, I feel.
So you are a good engineer or not?
Yes, sir, I would say.
You are a good engineer.
Yes, sir.
That's why you are earning that huge amount.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So country needs also engineers. So why are you?
Yes, a country definitely needs engineers as well. Like we are looking to be a technological powerhouse, but it's more of a personal aspiration for me that I want to join civil services.
Okay. So you are from Jharkhand, so after becoming an IAS officer, but I think you filled the first choice is IFS.
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me some basic principal rules of IFS? What should have?
Yes, sir. So, firstly, the IFS should be well versed with the strategic objectives which of our country, like strategic autonomy and on these things. Secondly, the IFS officer should be able to grasp the diversity which is there. Like they can be posted in various countries, so the culture of that place should be able to grasp that. Thirdly, the ability to develop expertise in various domains, like in trade, diplomacy, nuclear issues, or economic issues, or strategic issues. And and another would be that the IFS officer should be a good communicator and a good negotiator, someone who can strike deals and arrive at a middle point, so that which diplomacy is all about.
Okay, after becoming an IFS officer,
Yes, sir.
what would you like to change in foreign policies and any kind of policies to India to other country?
Sir, specific change I would not say, but I would say that the various initiatives which are there, that should be great, promoted a bit more, like the neighborhood first policies there, and also like leveraging foreign policy for a domestic prosperity, like using foreign policy to enhance our trade, our export, and our manufacturing competitiveness which is there, and also using it to project India's culture and our diversity and our civilizational history which is there, so that our country moves forward like Viksit Bharat, which we have for 2047. So IFS should also play a bigger role in that.
तो विकसित भारत के लिए क्या जरूरी है इन बजट में दिया गया है?
Yes, sir.
सो टू 2047 है, राइट?
Yes, sir.
तो ऐसा क्या जरूरी है उसमें कि जो करेंगे तो विकसित हो जाएगा भारत? सबका साथ सबका विकास, या और भी कुछ है इसमें?
Yes, sir. There are. It's an aspirational objective for us. I would say that for me, it would be like India becomes a technological powerhouse. Like it should be world leader in innovation, and also there should be greater inclusivity. Like everyone should have food to eat, access to health provisions, access to a house, clean drinking water, and India should be a flag bearer of sustainable change and the green transition and ability to deal with various issues in the world. And India should also be a Vishwa Bandhu, like it should be like engaging more with the global south and raising their voices on the world stage. So these will be my like aspirations of India when it becomes like Viksit in 2047.
Okay. तो आपको लगता है कि हो जाएगा, विकसित हो जाएगा?
Yes, sir. I think like if we are able to sustain our current trajectory and we are able to implement what all we have set forward, then I think we should be able to achieve our objectives.
हमें इसके लिए प्रयास करना पड़ेगा ना?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
सबका साथ सबका विकास, सबका
विश्वास. Yes, sir.
इसके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा हमें? सबका प्रयास.
Yes, sir. Everyone needs to contribute their bit towards the country's progress. Yes.
Okay, and my last question is about from the G20.
Yes, sir.
So G20 is important advantage of the G20 for the India.
Yes, sir. Sir, like our foreign minister mentioned that G20 was a forum to prepare India for the world and to prepare the world for India. So we leverage G20 for various things like promoting the voice of the global south. We took initiative so that African Union comes into, and we also raised issues of like debt relief and like climate justice, and we also showcased the digital public infrastructure. Like yesterday there was a news like initiative on digital public infrastructure. It's taking shape. So these initiatives we were able to put forward for the world, and it was also a people's G20. Like we were like instead of restricting it to one or two cities, we were able to like leverage like show the G20 across the country, so that people take pride in what India is doing at the world stage.
Okay, next G20 summit where will be held?
Sir, Brazil.
Brazil.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
Thank you.
Which foreign language would you like to learn once you are posted as IFS?
Sir, I would say Mandarin, Chinese.
Chinese, good. What is the current status of Chinese economy?
Sir, there are some concerns with respect to the Chinese economy. First would be the housing crisis which is there. Another would be like with restrictions on tech-related companies which is there. So China is like innovation is kind of not taking place as much as earlier, and also like the export of China is facing issues like with Europe facing slowdown. So consumption is reduced there. So Chinese exports.
What is that housing crisis in China?
Sir, basically there is a lot of pent-up inventories of houses, but there are no buyers to buy that. So like a lot of loans are going bad. These like Evergrande loan crisis was there. So these issues are there.
What is the currency of China?
Sir, renminbi, yuan.
What is the China plus one policy?
So it's an initiative to diversify the supply chains away from China. Like China is a critical player in the manufacturing supply chain. So another one country should be there so that we are not bottlenecked.
How can we take advantage of that, India?
So we can take advantage, like we can use this to prop up our own manufacturing. Like we see that in smartphones, like Foxconn has set up, and also we see that Google Pixel phones have been is going to be manufactured. So these kind of firms which are moving away, diversifying away, we can look to bring them to India and prop up our manufacturing.
What is the current size of trade between India and China?
Sir, it's more than 100 billion, exact figure.
We are positive or negative?
So we are a deficit, more than 60 billion in deficit.
Right. So as an Indian, I think you have to protect India.
Yes, sir.
So how can we do something to reduce that fiscal deficit, the current account, that deficit? It should be in our surplus.
Yes, sir. Sir, I feel that the deficit is mostly like China being protectionist and also like China dumping its cheaper goods in the Indian market. So we have to look at these things, like if there is dumping of goods happening, we should be taking specific provisions, and also we should make our firms more competitive. And also like we see that there is greater scrutiny of Chinese investments in our industry. And as we move forward, there is dependence on China for this.
Now this organization where you are working in Hyderabad,
Yes.
this is which country belongs? It belongs to which country?
US. It's based out of New York.
They are into what?
Investment industry. We provide. They provide a data solution.
Okay. You understand derivative market?
So not as a.
What is derivative?
It derives its value from some underlying asset which is there.
And what is call option?
So call option is like you put in a position, like you will buy at a specific price at a specific date, but you have an option that if it's not favorable, you will not use that.
What is the reason? Any idea why this equity market is booming all over, let's say country, India or US?
Yes, sir. Sir, in India, mainly it's because of the growth trajectory and the demographic advantage which we have. So we see that a lot of investments are coming in India, and also there is greater capital expenditure by government. So we see that PSU stocks are rallying because of that. So the underlying, like everyone is buying in on the India's growth trajectory which is there.
Now, can you throw some light on border tension with China?
Yes, sir. So the border tension started in 2020. Like China was in violation of the earlier agreements which we signed, and we took some counter deployments which were there, and we saw that there were some clashes, like first loss of lives post 1976 on the Chinese border in Galwan. And currently, like we have taken disengagement from some positions, but there are still some talks going on in certain positions on the border.
No, talks go on and on, but nothing comes out of the talks.
Sir, I would say that it's more of a function of the geopolitics which is there. Like China wants to use this border as kind of a leveraging point on India, so that with limited incursions it can take place and put pressure on India, so that India is not able to like develop more relations with various other countries. Like it wants to keep the border in a state of a volatility, so that India is always on the edge.
But not only with India, with in South China Sea
Yes,
also.
sir. Yes, sir. With China's growing stature, it wants to be a kind of a hegemon, and there is a concept of a 9-dash line. So it undertakes various, like we see that with Philippines Coast Guard, there were various couples which are taking place. So China is taking many actions, like aggressive actions in this area.
So what about Panchsheel, which it signed with India?
Sir, Panchsheel was signed in 1950s and it was violated long back in 1962. And I don't believe that the Panchsheel principles anymore hold between India and China relations.
No, but the thing is that can we trust China at all?
Sir, it's not a question of trust. I would say that India is growing, but China is also growing, so there will be some kind of friction points between. We should be looking to manage the relations in such a way that we can both grow in our own space, and the disputes should not spiral out of control. We should be able to manage that.
Okay, thank you.
So, Harshit, you are Bachelor of Engineering from?
BIT Mesra, sir.
So, presently many universities provide not BE but provide BTech.
Yes, sir.
So, is there any difference between BE and BTech?
Sir, BE, Bachelor of Engineering, is like more of a theoretical course. Bachelor of Technology is more of a practical course.
So, you have not done practical course?
I have done. It's more of a difference in semantics, I would say.
Okay, so which is best for today's generation?
Sir, I would say that BTech, like practical orient, like with our demographics, and we want to increase the skill of our vocational training initiatives that are taking place. So more practical needs
So
to
why
be.
not these institutes changing this terminology?
Sir, I would say I am not aware of the exact like why they changed.
Okay, so recently there is a what we can say the value of Indian passport
Yes, sir.
vis-a-vis the world.
Yes, sir.
So can you highlight certain thing that what is the passport ranking?
Sir, exact ranking, like Henley releases that index, but I'm not able to recall the exact number.
What is the reason that Henley word is used? Who is Henley?
Sir, I'm taking a guess, like
Yes.
it's some firm or some think tank based out of UK which releases
So
this.
what are the factors to be taken? The countries you are getting number one.
Yes, sir.
What are the factors to be taken?
Sir, I would say that the various, like what kind of people, like India, there is an issue of illegal immigration which kind of goes into like the donkey route which is there in US. So like what kind of people, like how much they can trust the people, whether they will
Which
take.
country is most trusted? Which is number one country? And which is the least trusted?
So I'm not aware, recall, but it should be some Baltic state. I believe some Baltic state should be there.
Okay. What is the rule of law?
So rule of law is that the various executive agencies which are there, they should take actions according to what is there in the law, and there should not be any discretionary.
Executive, not legislature, not judiciary.
Yes, sir, everyone should abide by what is there in the rule of law. But primarily the executive needs to implement the law. So
primarily executive is bound to follow the rule of law,
yes, sir.
not
Yes.
any other authority. What is supreme in India?
Sir,
Executive, legislature, judiciary.
So the constitution is supreme in our
Where it is written?
Sir, it's not written, but we have a written constitution, so it's like with various like the basic structure doctrine which is there, so which cannot be altered.
So it is laid down in 1973.
Yes.
So before that we are not, constitution is not supreme.
So before that also, like in this like whoever has a written constitution, like the constitution is supreme. Like in UK parliament is supreme because they don't have a written constitution, but in our case we have.
In written there is no constitution because there is no constituent assembly.
Yes, sir.
So does it mean if there is no constitution then constitution is not supreme?
Sir, it doesn't mean that it's not supreme, but I would say that the parliament has greater powers to amend or like change the constitution. In our case it's flexible, but certain provisions cannot be altered. So in that case constitution is supreme.
So who can amend the constitution?
So parliament can amend. There is some elaborate provisions laid down for that.
Where those provision laid down?
So article 368.
Is there any restriction on the amending power of parliament?
Yes, the Supreme Court has laid down in 1973
So
Keshav.
before that there is no restriction?
So before that various litigations were going on, like in.
No, just constitution require any formalities?
Yes, sir. There were some formalities like.
What are those formalities?
Sir, it needs to be introduced. Like it can be introduced in either house of parliament. It needs to be passed by a special majority. and the president needs to mandatorily give his assent to the constitution amendment bill, and there is no provision of a joint sitting in case of a disagreement between the two houses.
Okay. Is there anything else where the half of the state is also required?
Yes, sir. If they seek to change the federal provisions of the constitution,
What are those federal provisions?
uh, like extent of powers of the Supreme Court, like manner of election of the president, and the seventh schedule which is there if we want to amend that. So these kind of issues we require.
Okay. Thank you. All this.
Okay, Harshit, your interview is over.
Thank you.
I think और टाइम बहुत कम था, सो आपसे उससे नहीं पूछा गया आपके हॉबीज से.
Okay.
सो रनिंग स्पेशली आपको थोड़ा सा लर्न कर लेना है, रनिंग का, क्विजिंग का. मे भी क्विज कर सकते हैं, आपके साथ खेल भी सकते हैं ना.
Yes, sir.
तो वो ज़रूर. बाकी आपको बहुत अच्छा है, बस एक चीज़ सबसे बड़ी आपकी जो वो है, स्माइलिंग नहीं है पूरे उसमें. बाकी आप कैंडिडेट बहुत अच्छे हो, आंसर बहुत अच्छे हैं, नॉलेज बहुत अच्छी है.
Yes, sir.
तो ये पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट भी है, नॉलेज पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट विद नॉलेज.
Yes, sir.
सो उसको थोड़ा सा. और यू आर फ्रॉम योर डिस्ट्रिक्ट इज सिंहभूम.
Yes, sir.
सिंहभूम इज द प्रोटो कॉन्टिनेंट, और इससे पूछा जा सकता है. और छोटा नागपुर पठार इज द पार्ट ऑफ सिंहभूम.
Yes, sir.
राजमहल हिल्स, जितनी भी हिल्स हैं, सारा सिंहभूम का पार्ट है. तो इसको थोड़ा सा सिंहभूम का, दिस इज द प्रोटो कॉन्टिनेंट.
Yes.
इन इंडिया देयर आर 3 प्रोटो कॉन्टिनेंट्स. नंबर 1 अरावली, सेकंड सिंहभूम, थर्ड धारवाड़.
Yes, sir.
तो इसके बारे में पढ़ लेना है. और इससे कौन कौन सी रिवर्स निकली हैं उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा. बाकी आपको बहुत अच्छा है. और स्माइलिंग बस का, और थोड़ा हाँ
Yes, sir.
इस चीज़ को थोड़ा सा ध्यान रखना है. और जो लेग पोस्चर है वो थोड़ा सा क्लोज रहना चाहिए. बहुत फैला था तो मैंने इसमें लिख दिया बेसिकली. ठीक है. जमशेदपुर के बारे में पढ़ लेना है.
Yes, sir.
करंट डेली रीड करना है. कब इंटरव्यू?
4th March, next Monday.
नेक्स्ट मंडे. सो करंट अफेयर्स डेली, एंड जिस दिन जाओ उस दिन भी पढ़ के जाना. ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
स्माइल, फेस को स्माइलिंग,
हाँ.
रिलैक्स,
Yes, sir.
है ना. मतलब इट शुड नॉट बी फनी, मतलब ऐसा लग रहा है जैसे मशीन बोल रही है.
हाँ
नहीं,
हाँ
sir,
हाँ.
वो-
ओनली
नहीं,
लाइक अ मशीन.
दैट इज द काइंड ऑफ डोंट
He's
प्रोड्यूस
an engineer, so that's why he'll
हाँ, थोड़ा सा एक अपने को जस्ट इट्स
working करते करते हो जाता है.
हाँ.
थोड़ा
तो-
टेक केयर.
Yes, sir.
यू आर अ गुड कैंडिडेट बट स्टे ग्राउंडेड.
Okay, sir. Thank
Knowledge
you.
you have
ऑल द
good
बेस्ट.
knowledge.
चलो,
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
स्लाइड. हाँ, ठीक है.